Up next, we have Irving Antonio Barrera López discussing empowerment, the solution to small and big problems. Irving Antonio Barrera López is a Mexican student in the United States or in the United World College. He is interested in changing problems such as violence and inequality in the Mexican society. He has been involved in social projects in his country. One of his goals is to develop his own project to empower young disadvantaged people in Mexico around the world so they can be agents of change in their own communities. In UWC, he is enrolled in the Exed activities Samaritan Shelter, where he and his classmates help people in social disadvantage, and in the New Mexico Mental Health Institute, where they assist and organize activities for the elderly. He wants to be a medic and would like to change the healthcare system in New Mexico. Please welcome Irving Antonio Barrera López.
Hi. I don't consider myself a religious person, but there's this verse in the Bible that I would like to share with you today. It says, "Give a hungry man a fish, and he will eat for 1 day. Teach a hungry man how to fish, and he will suffer from hunger anymore." There are many issues in the world that have been tried to be solved, such as poverty, hunger, inequality, etc. But maybe those solutions have been addressed in the wrong direction. My name is Irving Antonio Barrera López, and I'm a Mexican UWC student concerned about the problems that affect my country and the whole world. I've been trying to find the solutions to those problems. In such a process, I came across with something really interesting that I would like to share with you today. It's called empowerment. What's empowerment? According to internet sources, Wikipedia, empowerment is encouragement of skills for self-sufficiency, with a focus on eliminating the future need for welfare or charity in the individuals of a group. In other words, empowerment means giving tools to people so that they can get the necessary skills to develop themselves and defend themselves in society. Empowerment means guidance, so that we can find our own answers and our own solutions to our own problems. Empowerment means raising awareness, so that we can know who we are and the problems that affect us in our environment. Last year, I experienced one of the most remarkable events in my life. I got involved in a social project called Alfabetiza, which in English means let's alphabetize. In that project, young people, which I had the fortune to call my friends, trained themselves to teach people how to read and write in Mexico. People who didn't have the opportunity of going to any educational institution and who are struggling a lot to get just the basic needs. So we stayed there for 2 months, and in those 2 months, we had no rule. We weren't allowed to give people anything else than classes or everything that they were interested in. Because if we gave people food or money, we would just create a dependence. And in the moment that we left the community, we would just create a huge damage on them, making people to just come back to the same level of poverty and suffering. So we taught them how to read, how to write, and about anything that they were interested in, such as astronomy. We taught them how the Earth rotates, or about biology, like the cells that compose our body. It was such an enriching experience, because basic knowledge that we just take for granted, we gave it to them. So after those 2 months of campaign, people applied the basic skills that we gave them. They could write a letter to their relatives. They could help the children at school. They could read a contract or something as important as writing their own name. But more than that, such an act of guidance helped people to enhance the opportunity of people to change their own surroundings. Women affected by gender inequality wrote a text about male domination, about women mistreatment. So they became change makers just by the act of empowerment and by their own decision. There is other project that we would like to tell you today that I'm really interested in. It's called Integrando Mexico. It means integrating Mexico. That project, young people just like you and me, discussed about the issues concerning Mexico and got the necessary skills to change their own neighborhoods or their own communities. So at the end, empowerment was the spark that ignited that great amount of social change. But education is not the only way of empowering people. Reading a book, watching a good film, or listening to this TEDx talk is a way of empowering. So why not, instead of giving food or money to people, we donate our time or our money to different associations that help people to sustain themselves, or that teach people how to grow food, or better yet, why don't we make simple empowerment actions, such as helping your friend with your math homework, such as sharing your knowledge to the world by creating art, or by teaching someone how to fish. If we all made small but beneficial impacts on every person, the world would be an awesome place to live in. Thank you.